So why investors? You look at that typical business plan, and investors. I found that if I did a good job with an investor, if I showed them the property that they wanted, to see, and I, kind of didn't present any old thing. I really understood what they were looking for and kind of their niche within the business. They were repeat buyers. They buy multiple deals per year, right? So I mean, even as an investor myself, we purchased uh, 4 buildings last year for a total of 15 units or some odd number, something around that. So we're going back to agents multiple times for purchases. And if I'm in an investor at the peak of my career and I'm looking to liquidate, I'm probably selling off multiple buildings as well. I've worked with a ton of investors who are, in their, late 60s, early 70s, and said, hey, I want to kind of, take it down. I'm looking at, kind of liquidating my portfolio and rolling, and I sold the first building for them, did a really good job, and then, like I said, built the relationship and had multiple transactions because of that, right? So
That's
they
awesome.
buy and sell often.
Yeah.
Um, you can systematize your business, and we're going to talk a little bit more about how to do that. Investors know the process, and this is one of the things that I loved about working with investors. There was a lot less explaining to do. They know that they need to hire an attorney, right? They know that they're going to have to pay transfer tax. They know that they're going to have to, um, they don't necessarily need to go to the closing. They can, there's a lot less questions and emotion involved. They already know the process. They know how the game goes. They know what the purchase and sales is, and they're not going to sit down and read every paragraph word for word. A lot of times you can get away with just, docu-signing and sending it over. They know they need, certain escrow deposits and everything else. So they know the process. They know the game. And last but not least, I think one of the best things is free investing advice. I talk to a lot of investors, which is giving me a lot of education for free. I pick everyone's brains, and the thing about, human nature, we love sharing what we know. I mean, look at Scott and I on this on this call, right?
Right.
People love sharing what they know, and if you take advantage of that, you can really build rapport. When you sit down at that kitchen table, I'm a very impatient person, and I used to be the person who goes in and says, hey, can we just get this signed? And I realized that that's not how you build rapport. If you have someone who has this abundance of knowledge and they own 20 properties or 50 properties or 100 units or whatever it may be, how did you get there? How did you achieve that? How did you, what made you kind of, what do you think about the market today? Where do you think we're going? That's how you build rapport with people and also learn something and get advice from them at the same time. A lot of investors are have access to opportunities that you may not have access to, and now you're learning about those opportunities by sitting down and taking advantage of human nature and asking people, probing questions.